So I figured now that everyone is really sick of reading rush vlogs, now would be the perfect time to just like sneak in my mid-year book freakout tag. Hey everyone, it's Zane, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. However, I will not be answering all the questions as I do not have an answer for some of them. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far in 2019? This was so easy, you guys. If you've been watching my videos for even like a couple weeks, you'll know the answer to this question, and that is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. So I actually did a full spoilery review and spoilery discussion for this video, so I will leave that link down below. I just loved how relatable this book was, you guys. It made me feel so many feelings. It read so authentically, and that's what I love in a book. The next question is, what is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to? And for this one, I'm going to go with The Rise of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee. When I found out we were getting a full-length novel for Avatar, I literally screamed. If you've been watching my last two videos, you know, like, I am such a diehard Avatar The Last Airbender fan, and I'm so happy. It's been getting great reviews on Goodreads, so I can't wait to dive in. The next question is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And I'm cheating a bit on this one because it actually comes out next year, but that is Loveless by Alice Oseman. As I mentioned, I love Alice Oseman. I love her writing. Even though I've only read one book of hers, I'm gonna buy anything she puts out, and Loveless is definitely no exception to that. Unfortunately for you guys, I like to go into a lot of these books fresh, so I won't be giving a synopsis as I don't even know what Loveless is about yet. But if you want to read a description on Goodreads, I will leave a link down below. So the most disappointing read for me this year was actually The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I really didn't like this book just because the science was a little too much for me, and not in the sense that it was complicated, but there was just too much of it and not enough of the self-help part that I was looking for. I think with self-help books, it's great to include scientific facts, but you don't need to have it oversaturated with them to the point where it kind of mixes up the message a bit. So the biggest surprise for me had to have been Avatar The Last Airbender North and South. I knew I would love this book. It featured one of my favorite characters of all time. I just didn't expect the emotional aspect to be so strong, and it made me cry at the end, and it was just a lot in the best possible way. So my new favorite author has to be, again, Alice Oseman. I'm so ready to pick up Heartstopper, another graphic novel by her. She's just incredible. She writes such authentic characters. She writes them so well. The story, the world, everything that she writes is just, I know, again, I've read one of her books, but it's just great, and I have so much respect and love for her and her writing. So my newest favorite character is definitely Arthur from What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. I also have a full spoiler and spoiler-free review of this book down below in the description, but it essentially follows our main characters, Ben and Arthur. Arthur has moved to New York for an internship, whereas Ben has been living in New York for his whole life. The two meet at a post office, have a bit of chemistry, but unfortunately they don't get each other's numbers, so the first half of the book is them trying to like figure out where the other person is and trying to meet up with them, and the second half of the book is like their relationship and how it progresses and how it sort of evolves and all of the challenges that occur. Arthur is just this absolutely fun-loving, kind-hearted character. He's sweet, he's sensitive, and sometimes he can even be overly emotional or dramatic. He doesn't always think before he makes a decision, but that's what makes him human, and he's just such a joy to read about. So for a book that made me happy and a book that made me cry, I have to choose, once again, Avatar The Last Airbender North and South. Guys, the ending of this book was so perfect. Everything about it was just, okay, we're not doing this again, not in another video. My favorite character of all time just got a sense of closure from something that had been plaguing her or something that she'd been dealing with her entire life, and it was just such a beautiful thing to see. On top of that, What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera made me cry out of happiness because it was so cute and I loved it so much. It also made me cry out of sadness at some points too, which is great that a book can have that kind of emotional depth. Radio Silence also made me cry. Same situation. Actually, in Radio Silence, I was genuinely sad at some parts, and that's why I was crying. But there were other moments where I was just crying out of happiness as well. So, yeah, these are very interesting books that can just make you cry or make you happy in the same couple pages. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. So in terms of the rest of the books I need to read this year, just look at this bookshelf. It's basically everything here. Oh man, I have so many books to read and it's giving me a little bit of anxiety, but It's okay. It's a good problem to have, right? Right? So I'm not actually going to tag anyone because it's way past the midpoint of the year. I'm posting this so late. I didn't want to post it during the reading rush just because, like, there were way too many vlogs coming out for the reading rush. I'm like, I'm just going to take a little bit of a step back and post after, so that's what I did. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon with a new video.